Okay, so I went and got some ice cream today. I got a waffle cone with 3 scoops of ice cream. I am a regular kind of ish. I usually get black cherry ice cream and like sometimes I'll mix it up and get like vanilla with it, whatever. But today they only had um, almond milk, coconut chocolate chip, peach, and mint chocolate chip. And I said, you know what, I can work with this. Now, let me show you the graphs. So, in order of appearance, or in order of introduction to my taste buds, we start with the almond coconut shit thing. So, this was very yummy. This was very good. This was very scrumptious. There was really nothing wrong with it. Um, for the first like 4 minutes or so, it's just good ice cream. And then as you look and see this graph, you see that it starts to, the y value starts to rapidly increase in exponential growth there. And you might be asking, well, what does the y-axis represent in this graph? The y-axis represents how much does it taste like marijuana. And as you can see, we start out very low for the almond coconut chocolate chip. And it's only up until about that 4.5-ish point where 4.5-ish minutes, x equals time in minutes, where things start to bother me. Moving on, so the one after that came immediately after the almond chocolate chip, whatever, was the peach. Mind you, I didn't choose the order of this. It was I just told her to do whatever. The peach um, almost immediately was what set me off because as you can see, as soon as as soon as we cross the y-axis, just no time has passed. As soon as like it enters my mouth and I recognize it, it's already up there. Then I'm like, oh, this is kind of unfortunate. This kind of tastes like weed, and like that bothers me because I've got history. Me and marijuana go slightly back. Okay. And I am noticing a problem. It's not a very steep slope, but it is noticeable. The Y value is only increasing as time goes by, and it was already up there by the time it was introduced to my taste buds. And the third one was the mint chocolate chip. Now, mint chocolate chip is an interesting flavor because depending on where you get it, how you get it, whatever, the mint will be varying degrees of intensity. This particular ice cream had such an intense, like, fresh mint taste to it that it was actually, like, indescribably like I was just tasting like a gummy. Um, like immediately, and I was just like so grossed out about it. Um, and what's interesting though is after we reach around, it took me about 12 minutes to eat this ice cream cone. I'm saying it probably took me a lot less, but like this is in order to kind of spread it out to show you a more dramatic um, entry of what this was like. As you can see, once we get to kind of the 5 minute mark, it actually starts to decrease in intensity. But mind you, when it entered my mouth, like, I thought it was over. And then brings me to my fourth graph, which is a combination of the previous 3 graphs overlaid on top of each other. The orange graph representing the almond milk one, the red being the peach, and the blue being, or I'm sorry, the green being the mint chocolate chip. And as you can see, there's an interception point right there. And that is where I considered not finishing my ice cream. Um, because all of the flavors came together to like torture me a little bit. Because I've been put off weed pretty harshly. And all these flavors just kind of came together at differing intensities, really, all together at once to just kind of smack me in the mouth. Now, on the bright side of this, this does seem like sort of a downer. situation to be in, where I'm just looking for a joyous little cone of ice cream, and I'm open to the possibilities. I'm not afraid of what may come, because this isn't even to me, this isn't even in the cards. On the bright side of this, if we move to the fifth graph, this is an actual more realistic representation of how it went for me, where from time equals 0 to time equals about, I think I did to 4 minutes right there. It took me about 4 minutes to eat the almond kind. As you can see, we start out slow and then we just skyrocket, but we really only skyrocket once that peach is introduced, and we really get that exponential growth once it's the peach and the mint chocolate chip. And so that is still, the worst point, because that is the intersection. So about 4 minutes in was whenever it was really giving me a hard time. And as we kind of continue, the peach continues to increase. It's a constant rate of change. But, as we discussed, the mint chocolate chip sort of starts to calm down a little bit. And in combination, if you're taking the difference between those two slopes, you're still getting a increasing rate, because the what's it called? The rate of change is kind of slowing down for the mint chocolate chip in terms of like intensity and flavor, until the point where we get a decent, I'm still haunted by the fact of this combination of flavors, but it's just the mint chocolate chip for the last 3 minutes of my ice cream. And I am just kind of living in the respite of whatever this ice cream would have been without one of these flavors, because I'm convinced that one of these, it's just this particular combination of flavors just really smacked me around. But I ended up enjoying my ice cream. It was so good to begin with, and then the minute the peach was introduced, it was like a creeping feeling. The minute mint was introduced, it was over. And then once that peach gets tagged out, it's really a better ice cream. And that's just a lesson in how you can incorporate math into a slightly traumatic experience, not traumatic, slightly uncomfortable experience while enjoying some ice cream, 3 weeks sober. My advice, no, eat what you want. I don't care. I don't have advice.